This episode is brought to you by Sleep Number. It's summertime, where long days and hot nights make it harder to get the quality sleep you need. Sleep IQ data shows sleepers who use their Sleep Number 360 smart bed technology get almost 30 minutes more restful sleep per night. That's up to 170 hours per year. Discover how to get a more restful sleep each night by visiting your local Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com/Spotify. Sleep Number takes care of the science. All you have to do is sleep.
This episode is brought to you by Liquid IV. The hot summer months are back, and Liquid IV is here to make sure you stay hydrated. One stick can help hydrate you 2 times faster and more efficiently than regular water. Plus, it has 5 essential vitamins, including vitamin C. Right now, you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code BOLD at checkout. That's liquidiv.com with the promo code BOLD.
This episode is brought to you by Cheetos Deja Tu Huella. Deja Tu Huella means leave your mark, and that's exactly what Latinos are doing. They're transforming the world around them, pushing boundaries with their unique perspectives. It's their superpoder. Join Cheetos and celebrate the heroes that are leaving their mark with the Deja Tu Huella program. You can also celebrate by checking out the new podcast, Batman Unburied, presented by Cheetos Deja Tu Huella. Visit Batman Unburied on Spotify to learn more.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All Too Real 2. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, is...
Sesame Busy Ricardo.
Okay. So, you can't record today? You're busy?
No, it's my middle name is Busy.
Oh. That's an interesting name.
Yeah, it is.
So, you know that the Beatles said that all you need is love.
Mm-hmm.
Love is all you need.
I'm familiar with that. And yes.
So, if we were to incorporate something, do you think love would be a good idea to incorporate?
You could try it. I don't know how you would. Well, I guess if people, I guess if corporations can be people, I guess then love as a concept could become a corporation, maybe. Try it out.
I mean, it's probably the best of all the emotions to incorporate.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than like hatred or like fear or whatever. So
yeah, it's true.
If you're gonna do one of them, I guess you should do love. Try it out.
It is all you need. It is all you need.
Yeah.
It's a many splendored thing.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, so today on the show, we are covering the short-lived UPN sitcom.
Oh, UPN. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Love, Inc., which ran from September 22nd of 2005 to May 11th of 2006. So, had a whole season there on America's favorite channel, UPN.
Or Uppin. Or up, yeah, UPN. Yeah, I remember that station. Or channel,
yes.
Whatever.
This was, what ended up happening that actually caused it to be canceled, from what I'm reading here, is the fact that the year that it was out was the year before UPN merged with the WB and created the CW.
Okay.
And it was one of the casualties in the merger.
So just kind of like how now there's like several casualties of, Warner Brothers buying CW and canceling all of our favorite TV shows.
Well, no, Warner Brothers has owned CW for years. Co-owned
okay.
it. Yeah, because it was the merger of the WB and UPN. UPN was the United Paramount Network, and the WB was the Warner Brother Network.
Oh,
and then the CW originally stood for CBS Warner, which Paramount owns CBS. So that's why it,
So why now all of a sudden they canceling all these shows then?
They just, Warner Brothers just got bought or merged with Discovery Channel.
Oh,
so they're cutting a lot of things, but that's not the main reason is that the CW is looking to sell itself to possibly Nexstar, which is the largest like franchisor of the CW. Like they have the most local networks that are CW networks. They own them.
Oh, I see.
In the country, and they might want to buy the network from Warner Brothers and Paramount. They might be buying it. So
yeah, so like canceling all the best shows, that's the best way to sell themselves. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, because basically, if they can cut fat.
Yeah, the good fat. Okay.
Yeah, but no. I mean, I'm just saying. Sadly, even though the shows that a lot of us love, whether it be the Arrowverse shows that got canceled, or some of these other ones that are like Vampire Diaries adjacent shows that got canceled, and other things that I read about, whatever it's with the. It makes sense financially. It doesn't necessarily make sense for fans of these series.
Right, but even so, it only makes sense financially in a very temporary sense, because you can only live off of sweets and candies for so long. You need good solid meal as well. So go ahead, enjoy the candy, enjoy the sweets, but you're going to get a nice little tummy later on. So.
And they also, had to cut. For example, with Batwoman, I don't know why we're going on about this thing, but anyways, for like Batwoman, for example, I think what ended up happening was, and it might have been with Legends of Tomorrow and maybe some of the other CW shows that shoot up in Vancouver, the renewal came up on the studio that they were filming them at, because there's a couple different studios up there that they film stuff at, like actual locations, and the rent renewal came up, and they just decided not to renew it.
Oh, I see.
To save money.
Yeah.
Well,
I hope it's not going to be the end of Stargirl after season 3, then, if they're going to cut that as well, because...
Well, see, that might actually be easier, because I think it's actually now cheaper to film in Atlanta, and that's where they film that.
Okay.
So, they might be...
All right.
Yeah, so, we'll see. But back to this thing...
Yeah.
Love, Inc. is a sitcom from 2005 that was originally envisioned as a starring vehicle for Shannon Doherty, that we know from Mallrats and Beverly Hills 90210 and Charmed and other things. They shot a pilot, which I wasn't able to find anywhere because I wanted to check it out. An unaired pilot with her as the lead character. And what happened was it didn't test well or something, and because this was after she had some issues in the tabloids and stuff, so they decided that they wanted to recast it.
Okay.
Yeah. So they recast her with Busy Phillips, who people will know from Freaks and Geeks and Cougar Town and Dawson's Creek. Yes. And she had her own talk show for a short time. Yes. So people know her. But anyways, that's what happened there behind the scenes. But we also have Vince Vieluf, who people will know from Road Race. Is that the name of that movie? Rat Race. Sorry, not Road Race. Oh. Rat Race, the movie. Reagan Gomez-Preston, Ian Overman, and Holly Robinson Peete. So yeah, that's what we got. And I guess it was doing really decent ratings before the merger with the two networks, but it wasn't doing well enough for that to make sense to keep. So it was a casualty. So, anyways, we're going to cover this pilot here. What happens here, Sesame?
It opens up with a date going on.
Actually, before we get in deep, what did you think of it?
It was all right. I liked it. Watched it twice. I was gonna watch a few other episodes of it, but I didn't have time to do that. But I mean, it was one of those shows where in 2005, let's see, I'd probably have it on. Maybe I wouldn't pay attention to it too much, but back then I was reading books all the time and stuff too. So, but like, if they brought it back now, I probably would watch it. If it was on Hulu or some kind of streaming service or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it probably would do decent nowadays if it was rebooted or something. Yeah, so what happens in this episode? I'll let you start with that.
Sure. It opens up with a date, and the guy's just like, saying how, good of a time he's having, wishes, that could last forever. And she, busy character, which is, I forgot her name, but, in the show, but,
the character's name is Denise.
That's right. She's like, oh, that's so sweet. And he's like, yeah, I can actually picture us like, living together forever or whatever. They're spending the rest of our lives together. And then she's like, okay, like if this was an actual first date, this is the part where I would decide that there isn't going to be a second date. And then, so it's revealed that like a dating coach, and actually like takes people out, on actual dates to sort of just like act it out and things like that. And she's like, yeah, by the way, your mom is not a first date subject. Your mom's marriage is not a first date subject. He's like, oh yeah, and that story about you and your brother, where on the elevator, where your brother was like standing next to someone who looked kind of like Carmen Electra. Yeah, that might sound like a story. It's not an actual story. And she's like, no, your favorite movie is not Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo. And he's like, even though it makes sense on like multiple levels or whatever. And she's like, no, now your favorite movie is Love Actually. And he's like, well, that's like a chick flick. And she's like, and who watches chick flicks? And he's like, chicks. And she's like, who watches them? He's like, women. He's like, that's my boy. Go get him, Tiger. I'm literally just repeating the script.
Yeah, I was like, are we just reading the script here?
I'm going off of memory. And he's like, go get him, Tiger. And he like does like a row. And she's like, yeah, don't do that. He's like, oh yeah, no. It's like, oh, okay. So we got the whole trope of like the.
Yeah, she's kind of like a female Hitch in a way, like the Will Smith, Kevin James movie. Yeah.
And then we just go into that where it's basically like she works, at some company where people will do that. And she's like one of the
called Love Inc.
Called Love Inc. And she's one of the main ones. Or I don't know if they're just. I don't know if she's like top tier, if they're all just equal. I don't really.
Yeah, and I want
to
break down this cast here really quick before we get too deep. Okay. Mm-hmm. Busy Phillips is Denise. Basically, your stereotypical unlucky in love character from like every sitcom of that era. Vince Vieluf, your stupid, weird character who, you're Andy Dick from this era. Almost. You've got your Reagan Gomez-Preston, your racial stereotype character.
Right.
Ion Overman as your young, I'm so young, I'm only 25 character.
Right, yeah.
You got Holly Robinson Peete as your bossy, I've worked in business my whole life, I haven't had time to really take care of myself and it destroyed my marriage type character that was popular at this time. So there's a bunch of stereotypes in this show. After I watched it the second time, I'm just like, these are all stereotypical characters.
Yeah, but it's true though. But the boss character, I don't think it was her fault that her marriage fell apart.
It could be. It just, I don't know. We didn't watch more episodes, so I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
But it did seem like she was focusing more on the business than her relationship, and then he cheated on her. Not blaming her for the cheating, but you know what I mean? I'm just saying that if you're not connected in your marriage, things are going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, we go back, and now we have her at her job, and what's happening there?
She's like talking about, like bragging about how she went to Northwestern and how it's like better than Harvard, or it's harder to get into than Harvard, or I don't even know why she was even talking about it. She's just bragging about that, saying like, "Oh, I was in there early admissions and blah blah blah." And then she thinks that this guy, her ex-boyfriend from college, named Brad, of course he's got to be named Brad.
Yeah, everybody's named Brad.
Kyle, but what's that?
It's like everybody's named Brad at that time.
It was, yeah. Brad was a very popular name in 2005, unfortunately. And Bradley, no, and he broke up with her in college to go out with this woman named Lauren, and then they got married like a year later or whatever. So she thinks that Brad, found her and wants to like talk to her again or whatever. I don't even know why she would thought this, but and then turns out no, Brad actually called her because he wants he wants to try the dating service, and he just picked Denise. Like he didn't even know it was her. It just picked Denise to be his wing woman, and he's like, "Oh no, I didn't track you down. Actually, I left a message for someone named Denise, but I didn't know it was actually you."
And for you kids listening, this is prior to the Facebook days, so
yeah, we actually had to leave a phone message.
Yeah, this is this is prior to slipping into people's DMs sort of days. This was like peak MySpace where you could do that, but it wasn't as popular of ways to actually contact people. We were still contacting people on the phone.
For the most part, like even text messages cost money back then. You could only use like a certain amount of text messages per month or whatever. So it was very sparingly. And yeah, you had to go on your computer to actually look at MySpace. There was no MySpace app where you could look at on your phone any time of the day or whatever. And so you actually had to use your voice, which I know is so, like, we've gotten so used to just like I mean, even me, it's just like technology's kind of ruined me in so many ways. Like I used to be able to make phone calls, and like now I can't, just because I'm so used to being able to just send messages.
Most people are like that, I think.
Yeah, but I think I got really bad. But anyway, so he's like, "Oh, yeah," and then like the 25-year-old like turns around like, "Oh man, like this is awkward," type of thing. And then she's like, "Oh, no problem. I'll help you find a date anyway." And Brad's like, "No, it's okay. It's kind of awkward and weird." And she's like, "Oh, no problem." And she like slams the door real hard. And then she just like starts like insulting him like during the whole process of like getting, information and stuff. It's just like, why? Okay, my question for this though is, why would her boss even allow this to happen in the first place? Like, there's obviously a conflict of interest here.
There has to be some kind of oversight in this company that wouldn't allow that. If this kind of company actually exists, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it's just such a no. Like, there's other people who work there. There's five other women who work there. That's the other thing too. They're all women, which is weird. Like, because it's like,
I mean, the only guy on the staff is the Barry character, but he's actually the technician and photographer of the company.
Right, so he doesn't do any, and he, like you said, he's the weird, just the weird guy or whatever, and so he's obviously not like a dating coach, but I guess the idea was like they're all women, so they're gonna help guys get girlfriends, but it's like, well, again, this is 2005, so it wasn't like that long ago. So like, being gay was like not like that obscure like in 2005. So it's like, so would you be helping women get girlfriends too? Like it
I'm
just
thinking
seemed like
they might be. I mean, I don't know because we got to watch other episodes. I'm sure there's other
that's
episodes
right, yeah.
where they help
It would
women
be
or
oddly
yeah,
gender specific. Like we need a woman to help a guy get a girlfriend type of thing because the guy can't help a guy get a girlfriend. Like that's what it seemed like to me. Maybe not, but you know, 'cause maybe they were going for that kind of stereotype as well because we already have like a million other stereotypes. Like again, like got the Latina woman who's trying to get a green card, and it's like oh my god, like and like just like
yeah. I mean, it's almost as racially stereotypical as that. What was that? Veronica's video or whatever, where we had
that was way worse.
the Middle Eastern guy. Yeah.
The Indian guy.
Oh yeah,
What
the Sikh.
they call him? Mister
Whatever.
Chandra. I forgot what
Yeah,
the
Chandra. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
like, we can't pronounce his name, so I'm just gonna call him Mister Chandra. I'm not even sure if that's even right, but like, yeah, that was oh my god, that was such a bad episode. But and yeah, so you got the Latina woman who's like basically like sabotaging her job, trying to get the guys who call in to marry her for 2 years in order for her to have full citizenship. I'm like, okay, like I haven't seen that a million times. All right, whatever. And then but yeah, they go ahead and just let Denise just set Brad up on dates and gets mad at him when the dates don't go well. Like it's a day service. Like this is what you do for your job. Like
Yeah.
They're not all going to be winners. That's the whole point. Like
and she was getting like overly upset about it. Like it'd be like oh no, I got a strike in baseball. I mean, I'm gonna just think about quitting playing baseball now because I got one strike.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just done now.
Yeah.
No, it's because like he wanted the Earth to move and have that like spark of blah blah blah, but she's just kind of pissed off that he broke up with her to be with this other girl. And by the way, she did the whole thing where she intentionally mispronounced her name, called her Lorna instead of Lauren. That whole that kind of little petty sort of like like I'm just gonna pretend that
and then she gets to the point where she really puts her foot in her mouth when she says, well why don't you put your slipper back on her and find her and everything. It's like because she's dead.
Right, that's when we find out that he's looking for love again because his wife died.
Yeah.
And then she's like shit. There's other crap going on too. I mean, like the boss, like we said, like her marriage fell apart, so she's got like a cardboard cutout of her husband that she cuts the head off. So
she basically ends up deciding to go out with the people and try to meet a guy.
Yeah, Denise convinces her.
Yeah.
Well, she says that she's going to kiss her first if she doesn't go out.
And she contemplates that, so you got the little bit of a homophobic humor here. And
like well, maybe, I don't know, maybe they still do that even today though.
Oh, I know they do.
Where it's like they think about it and it's like, oh, and it's like I don't know if they think it's like a cutesy little thing, but it does kind of play into sort of like
and it seemed to play better back then with women. It wouldn't play. I mean, it's like a few shows like speaking of like Andy Dick or whatever, like on News Radio. I was rewatching that recently, and there's an episode where he's got a mustache that he grew. And all the women are talking about how they hate it. And he's like, come on, one of you can kiss me and see if you like it. Because they're saying that it would be weird when they kiss them. None of the girls would kiss him. And then Phil Hartman's character decides, why, I'll just do it for myself. And he grabs him and kisses him.
Okay.
And this is in like 1995 or 6 or something, or 7 or whatever. So, that was just an odd thing for that era. But, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that whole show was very interesting.
Yeah. But anyways,
so before that though, the weird photographer guy shows up with Chinese food. So I guess like they didn't really like explain like dynamic going on between all these people, but I got the gist that like friends he showed up with Chinese food and they're like, and then like the 25-year-old's like, I smell Chinese food, and he's like, I have Chinese food, and he's like, I smell margaritas, and she's like, I have margaritas, and he's like, I want margaritas, like I want Chinese food, and it's like, can I come in? And he's like, yeah. It's like got this little banter thing going on, so it's like I got the impression it was like a friends like type of situation, but they didn't really like explain it.
Yeah, so I guess later it's explained in other episodes. I'm reading here that Barry is Denise's roommate.
Oh, okay.
So, and then Francine, who's the other, no, not Francine. I mean, I'm sorry, Vivian, who is the. Vivian is the.
No, Viviana's the
Artini. I'm sorry. Wow, I screwed up earlier when I was describing the actresses because I read them in the wrong order.
Okay.
So Ion Overman is Viviana. Reagan Gomez-Preston is Francine, who is the but yeah. So anyways, so I apologize for that. Nobody try to cancel me or anything for screwing up.
It's man. For Love Inc., man.
Yeah. I'm sure the four people listening to this podcast are gonna.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like for the Love Inc. episode, man.
Yeah. But yeah, so what ends up happening then?
He's like I'm oddly interested or invested in this Brad thing or whatever, so he's like trying to get her to talk more about what's going on. And then a bunch of bullshit happens, don't remember. And then they go to the club, I guess. I don't remember everything. And then the weird dude, whatever his name was, I already forgot. And he's like, he goes to the bartender and he's like, give me a drink that looks like it's from the future or whatever. Something like they give him some like weird like glowing thing or whatever. And then Denise has like 3 different women or whatever for Brad's day, and she's just kind of like watching over, make sure things are going okay. And then she's also trying to set up the boss, which I forgot her name too.
It's Clea.
Okay, was it Leia?
Clea.
Oh, Clea.
Clea. Yeah.
And then so like she sees like this guy dancing with another woman. By the way, it's the actor who plays Deacon from King of Queens.
Yeah, which is interesting because this was considered. It was just called in many things the female Hitch, and Kevin James was in Hitch,
right?
And this actor was in King of Queens along with as his friend who stayed with the show the whole time and didn't leave after like one season, like Larry Romano.
That's a deep cut right there.
Yeah. We'll be talking about him in a future episode. So
yeah.
About why he left King of Queens.
Yeah. I had the screenshots, so they can't disappear. But
anyway.
Good. Yeah. But so he's dancing with some woman, and then weird guy goes to the DJ set and plays Kenny Rogers Know When to Hold 'Em, and then like the guy, his groove is gone, I guess, because the song changed for whatever. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, it's like he ends up being like a DJ who's playing like a soundtrack to everything that's happening in the club. Then, that's what Barry ends up doing.
Yeah, that's his thing now. He's like trying to set the mood. I don't know. And then there is one little funny part though, where they're basically talking about Clea, like next to the guy who played Deacon, because he's sitting at the bar now, and they're like, "Oh my god, like that can you see that hot woman over there by the door wearing the whatever suit? I don't remember.
Yeah.
And then he's like, by the door. And then it's like, no, not the Asian one, the black one.
Yeah. That was funny. Yeah, so anyways, she ends up dancing with him. The boss, that is, dances with him. Turns out that the whole time, Denise was actually trying to set Brad up with the waitress that was waiting on him all night, because they both like juggling and stuff. And,
yeah, because he's like a big juggling aficionado, I guess. And then, and so she juggles, and so there it is. That's it. That's the episode for the most part.
Yeah. Want to take our break right now, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about some user reviews for this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. We'll be right back.
No Outlet Live.
Hey, I'm Jay Remy, host of No Outlet Live. If you're in a podcast that explore any and everything, check us out. We stream anywhere you listen or watch podcasts, or just type No Outlet Live, one word, in your Google search bar to find the show. Live Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Facebook. No Outlet Live, your road to boredom ends here. Do you like Tessa? Do you think this will be a date that can last?
Well, she's not very articulate.
And we are back. So, I found some user reviews on the Internet Movie Database.
Oh, okay.
The greatest database ever, right?
It is a database, yes.
It is one.
Yes. It is one that you can go to and read information on.
It is supposedly actually the oldest still in operation website on the Internet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
So, anyways, I don't know where I read that, and it could be wrong. I'm just saying. So, all right. Do you want to hear a good or a bad one first here, Matt?
Let's go with a good one first. Let's like mix it up a little bit.
Okay, let me see if I can find a good one here.
Okay. It wasn't that bad. I mean, come on.
I know. I'm just making sure that it's a good one.
Okay.
Okay. I love this show is the headline here from data_art back in 2005, back when it came out. Okay. There's no rating here because I think this is before IMDb had ratings. So.
Oh, okay.
At first glance, this show seems like it's going to be just another eye candy extravaganza. However, it's much more. I haven't missed an episode, and I thoroughly enjoy the side-splitting humor. I hadn't seen Busy Phillips before now, and she's quite the humorist and actress. Miss Gomez-Preston's quippy brilliance is uncanny. Holly Robinson Peete is awesome as usual. Vince Vieluf's interpretation of Everyman is really good. This show has plenty of potential. They meet new people constantly, and their inter-office encounters are insightful, with many possibilities for depth. So far, they haven't gone with cheap humor, and I appreciate that. P.S. Ian Overman. Wow. Angels walk on Earth. I guess that means he or she finds Miss Overman very attractive. So,
I wouldn't say that there wasn't any cheap humor, but okay. And
at least in the pilot. So,
yeah. Okay. Well, even then, I would say there was some a little bit, but but so give me a bad one now.
Okay, here's a 1 out of 10.
Oh boy, okay.
Written in 2007 by That's Us Bolts. I don't know.
Probably it's not our friend that writes in every single one that we review.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen one from him yet. Do the writers that conjure up these type of comedies, quote unquote, have such empty lives that they have to embody them in tragic shows like this. Why the talented and gorgeous Busy Phillips is amongst this trash is beyond me. I cannot stand the Hispanic girl whose accent sounds very fake and is so funny and annoying, and also unfunny and annoying, as is the other African American girl with the shrill voice.
Jesus.
They're like not even finding out the actors' names. Okay.
Right. I don't remember anyone with a shrill voice.
I don't know which African American actress they're talking about either. It just says
the shrill voice though.
Yeah, I know. They're just saying the other one though. So which is the original? The jokes are often the jokes are often stupid. The Jewish guy yells a lot. Oh my god!
Jewish? Did they even say he was Jewish?
I don't know, but they're just breaking everybody. This person has to be a racist, I swear.
He might be, a friend of Larry Romano. Oh,
you went there. Anyway, so okay, the Jewish guy yells. I'm going to emphasize the fact that I'm reading somebody else's. Okay,
maybe he watched further episodes. Maybe he reveals and one of them he's Jewish. We'll see. But
to point out everybody's race and
I know.
Okay. So
the show kind of does it though. The show itself kind of.
Yeah, but
sort of. So
I don't know, but maybe just learn the actors' names. It's a lot better. Okay. Especially you're on the Internet Movie Database where the names are listed. Right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so exactly. It seems like a choice was made.
Yeah.
With the review.
You didn't even have to leave this website to find the actors' names.
Right.
It's just... You know that one guy who did that one thing? Anyways.
Yeah, that dude.
Yeah. But, so, anyways. He yells a lot, and the show never goes anywhere. One particular episode with the soldier looking for love was just terrible. I don't believe there would be that many working in a looking for love office and only one man. Of course, all the women are in tight-fitting tops and tons of makeup to make up for their lack of talent. Okay, this guy's a bigot. This guy's a bigot. That's all I'm saying. Okay,
they weren't wearing that much makeup. Okay, whatever. And,
so I actually find Holly funny. Yeah, Holly Robinson Peete. He just calls her Holly. Funny in other older shows, and have always admired Busy, but this show is dumb, empty, and had nothing going for it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's both sexist and racist in this thing. That's all I'm going to say. So,
yeah,
whoever that's
okay.
That's us bolts is the
yeah. So, a couple points. All right. Mm-hmm. So, one thing, learn the actors' names. That's one. Yeah. Don't just randomly call him the Jewish guy unless you know for a fact this character is Jewish. Maybe later on in another episode, maybe he says about that. I don't know. But and then be like, oh, of course the women are on, and like they weren't like I don't know. Maybe in 2005 that was considered like revealing clothing, but maybe times have changed so much since then. But like I don't watching that now. I'm not like. The boss is literally wearing a pantsuit. Like, what? Like, like at one point they even make a joke about.
Nobody was wearing like scantily clad clothing or anything.
Maybe in 2005 that was seen as like being racy. I don't know, racy. Yeah. Well, for him it means a different meaning to it. But anyway, until Larry Romano. Oh, but anyway, so sorry, we're gonna keep going on that, but they did make one crack, at one point saying like, "Oh, well, you look like you're dressed like a women's basketball coach." So I don't know if that was supposed to be kind of a homophobic.
It sounds like it, yeah.
I mean, not saying that.
Maybe, but like, who knows?
There's a lot of people kind of have the idea, like if a woman's into sports or coaching sports, that she's automatically. Yeah. I don't know where that came from, but that's been like a running gag for at least 20, 30 years at this point. So,
Wow.
See, you know your stereotypes. Doesn't mean you agree with them, but you know that they exist. You know, so I'm not saying I agree with them. I'm just saying I know that that's a thing that people think or thought. You know, and especially if they wore like a pantsuit, because you know that's a quote guy's clothing, even though it's just clothes, but whatever. And I mean, because freaking royalty men back in the day used to freaking wear like high heels and wigs and shit like that. I mean, that was like, you know, top fashion for being royal. That showed off how rich you were and how you know status you had. So
there's another review here. I'm not reading the review.
Okay.
Because it's like somebody wrote War and Peace here. But
okay. War and Peace for Love Inc. Wow.
Yeah. And they hate it, and they did not like the show. They did not like the show, but there's a typo in their headline that I think is funny.
Okay,
this is what their headline says: "Love spreads itself so thin, trying to appeal to everybody, that the final produce is a completely diluted mess." I think they meant product.
Yeah, I think they meant product. Oh man! Oh, I forgot to mention that we forgot the very ending of the episode.
Oh, what was that? I'm sorry, I forgot it.
So Denise is on the train talking to herself.
Oh yeah,
how she's like who cares if I'm single? No, whatever. You know, lots of people are single. Ugh. You know, and then there's like this dude sitting across from her, who's like basically it's like the meet cute or cute. Mm-hmm. I always forget. What is it? Cute me or meet cute?
Meet cute.
I always get it mixed up. Okay, so it's like the meet cute moment. I think I should use a mnemonic. What's the mnemonic device?
Now you got me confused.
Mnemonic.
Yeah, there we go.
Mnemonic device, because there's an episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia where Charlie thinks that Dee says meat cube, so he thinks like that you should just bring like cubes of meat everywhere.
Oh, okay.
So I should think of that now, so that way I know that it's meat cube.
You know how I remember it?
How?
My name is Michael Cullen, and same initials.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. So, I mean, there you go. So they're like, you know, flirting and stuff like that, and then he's like, by the way, it's pretty good technique. I didn't think of this, but then again, I don't really go on dates or whatever. But if I ever do meet someone, I'm actually going to use this technique. He gives her his phone number, and it's like, yeah, if you can call me if you want to. It takes the pressure off. I'm like, that's good. I like that. So if I ever had the courage to ask anyone out, and like before I'm like 68 years old, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you my number. So
well, when you're that age, you're just gonna be able to like beam your phone number into their head.
Could be, yeah. Who knows?
Or something,
or it could go the other way, and we'll live like in the wasteland with like Mad Max. Go either way, but you know,
sadly, probably the more Mad Max way. Yeah,
I think so. It's going to be guzzling. Yeah, and so you know, it's looking like that now with $5 a gallon. So we're getting close. We're getting close to that. But so he's like, blah 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 blah. Here's my number, and we had fun talking. Like, it was nice being stuck with you because the train got stuck or whatever. I don't know. And then. By the way, his name is Mike, so that could help you too with the meet cubes.
Oh yeah.
His character's name is Mike, and then he sees her out, like a gentleman, and the door's closed, and then the train leaves, and she's holding on to the card, and it flies out of her hand. Like, oh no! I don't know.
And on top of that, his name was Mike Smith, so it's like the most generic name ever. So.
Exactly. Smith. Could you get more generic? I know, Jesus Christ. And he acts like a generic person as well.
Yeah.
So he was very. So I wonder
if he ever came back in the show.
I'm gonna. Yeah. If I could find like the whole season online, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna watch it. And I'm gonna see if she's gonna be like trying to find him throughout the season, basically. Or
at least that would give something more of a plot to the show than the basic premise. Does.
Yeah, well, it has to be, because you can't have a whole show based on this by itself,
He does appear in 2 episodes. Eric Winter as Mike Smith.
Well, okay, then I guess they ruined it then. But
as Mike Smith, but then there's another Mike Smith. who appears in 5 episodes. So maybe she goes around looking for Mike Smith, probably.
Maybe she goes around. Okay, so that's actually an interesting story right there.
Mm-hmm.
So she's running into different people named Mike Smith, hoping that it's this guy, but then it's the wrong guy.
Yeah.
You know what we really could do at the end of it? She actually does end up falling in love with a Mike Smith, but it's actually not the guy from the train. So that would actually be a cool little, if they had more time to maybe do the show, or maybe they end the season that way. Who knows?
We'll have to see.
We're really good at making ideas up. We're really good at this stuff. But just like we're like, just as we're good at like pitching ideas to ourselves with our 4 listeners, we're just as we're good at that. It's like pretty much the same level of Larry Romano being good at defending races. Oh!
So, anyways,
I'm gonna play a song. Do you have anything to say? Sorry.
Oh, I was going to ask you if you had any final thoughts here.
Could have been better. It was good. It was decent. I'd watch it. I would. If it was still on, I would definitely
check it out.
Give it a chance. I don't know if I'd love it. No pun intended. But I would. I'm in a much more generous place lately when it comes to shows and movies. I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older and I'm becoming less perfectionistic about things. And as Abed would say in Community, I think I just liking things. So it could be that, where I don't need something to be like a masterpiece to enjoy it. But so that could be playing the part. But yeah, I would definitely watch the whole season if I can find it.
Okay.
I mean, I can't say that about every show. Like, I can't say that about Two Broke Girls, and that had 7 seasons, 6 seasons, something like that. So
5 million. I don't know. It felt like it.
Yeah, it felt like No offense to the actors and their actresses. But, because they're all good. But one of them was in WandaVision and Thor, so
yes, So make sure you folks, let us know what you think of Love Inc. if you saw it. We'll have a link to Love Inc. in the show notes. Send me a message at mike@cullenpark.com. Let me know, or to go to all2real2.com for all of our other links. What else you got to say?
I didn't mean to interrupt your email address, but I was just gonna say, it would have been really cool too if they had a double meaning, where it's Love Ink, as in like ink, like from a pen, and if someone was writing love letters, that would be also kind of a cool thing as well.
You gotta stop giving these ideas out to people, man.
I know, man. I'm just giving out freebies here, It's crazy. It's like I'm freely distributing ideas, just as Larry Romano freely distributes racist propaganda. Anyway, so
you need to write this stuff down.
Well, it's recorded, so we can just look it up. Then I'll write it down.
Yes,
but I wanted to play you a little song. A little thing I've been working on, and the song is called the phrase "White Lives Matter" is actually inherently racist. Is the name of the song. So
okay, it's a good working title here. Okay.
Yep. I kind of screwed up near the end, but
That's fine.
the phrase
Like,
"White Lives Matter" is inherently racist. Don't say it unironically. Okay.
indeed. Indeed. I liked it. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, my beautiful people, thank you for listening. Be good to each other. And until next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All Too Real 2 podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.